It's a really cold day today outside, and I'm here in my studio, and we are going to paint the Northern Lights. That's the tutorial for this week. Okay, I'm gonna show you my materials. I have a flat brush and a round brush, tissue paper, a sap green that's really yellow green, a turquoise, and I'm gonna use Paynes gray. And you can use whatever colors you like, of course. This is just the ones I'm planning on using. And I have a white ink and toothbrush. And you can, instead of using white ink, you can use white ink. I have one for dirty water and another for clean water. I have my board at an angle. You can paint this one flat. It's easier because you want the Northern Lights to go up. Here I'm having my turquoise, my really bright green yellow-ish color. It's called sap green. And here on the corner is my Paynes gray with the blue shade. Okay, so I'm starting out with the green, yellow-green color. And you really need to not be afraid to use the colors because they will dry so much lighter. So I'm putting it on really bright. And then turquoise. And down here we are going to have trees. And what you hear in the background making noise is my coffee maker. When there's time to dry, I want some coffee. And I'm letting it mix a little bit on the paper to get one more tint. My tape is loosening up. And it's the same here. It's gonna be so much lighter. So it needs to be dark right away. On here for you. I hope you can see now. Oops, not clean enough. And that can be the tricky part, not to have a clean enough brush. I want the light going up. Oops. It's not going my way today. I'm gonna put some turquoise back in here. And I want this kind of streaky effect. Northern Lights are a bit streaky, and I like that. Need to put on some more blue color over here. If you don't want to use a heat gun while you wait, a coffee break is a good idea. So let your painting dry properly. Now we need to re-wet the paper to add more colors, and I've decided to go with a little bit of ultramarine here in between the lighter part and the darker part of the painting. So I'm gonna wet this part again. With a clean brush. I'm gonna see so that everything is wet. And the paint loosens a lot, so I need to be careful to drag only from the bottom and up. And over here it's dry still, like that. Well, so now my water is running because I have mine at an angle, and I don't want that. So let's rinse the brush, and I'm gonna dab away some of this. I'm gonna use ultramarine, as I said, and I think mine is from Winsor & Newton. I'm gonna drag it up into the darker sky part. And you can see and in between I'm dragging. I want some darker streaks, but not too much. Clean brush and dragging upwards. So a stroke, and I clean my brush and dab it on a piece of paper. So clean it, dabbing on the paper. I don't want it to be super wet. I don't want this part to dry out on me, because I'm gonna add more of the dark color later. So now I'm gonna add more of the Paynes gray up here in the darkest part of the sky. And I'm thinking about dragging a bit of the dark. And then my round brush, clean and just a bit damp to soften. Okay, so before painting in the trees, I've weten my toothbrush, dampen it a bit, and here's the white acrylic ink I'm gonna use, and I'm just gonna dip my brush a little bit inside like that. I've just dipped it in there and blotting some of it, the excess, off on my tissue paper. And I'm gonna see, then let's do some stars before putting on the trees, so we don't need to watch the trees, because I don't want stars in my trees. Well, I think that's about it. You can do as much or as little of this as you want. And I need to wash my finger. And now we can start painting some trees. And I'm only gonna use the Paynes gray for that. It's gonna be only the silhouette of them. So let's just put some trees down. And if you wanted to, you could make snow on your trees, of course. And how much detail you put on them is totally up to you. It's mostly the top of the trees that I'm doing. And you can make your trees a little bit different, so they aren't just the same. It brings interest to the painting. And you can do as many or as few as you want, of course. And it's good to make them different heights also. This isn't a painting. It's a painting, sure. This is more for the Northern Lights, of course, but I love trees, so I need to have some. You could do a city scene with some houses, the silhouette of them, or mountains, or whatever you feel like. One thing left to remove the tape. The most fun part. No, it's fun to remove the tape, but I actually like painting so much better. But it's always nice to see what it looks like without this ugly tape. Sorry. Okay, so here we have it, our Northern Lights painting. And as before, I'm gonna give it to one of you who leaves a comment down below. And I hope you like this tutorial. And I'm gonna sign this.